plead the fifth.
We are here. Which one was that? That's the boo? Here we go. There we go.
Tim Black.
I want to make sure that we get in the feed
Tim
on YouTube
Black.
before we get started, Sam.
Tim
So I'm
Black.
just checking everything live. I don't like no surprises, brother.
Yeah, we don't need surprises.
Hey, people, can you hear us out there? If you can, I need my YouTube people. Tim Black's Wolfpack. I need you to comment in the comment section. Let us know that you can hear us before I get going. And then we're going to do a sound check on Sam, and then we're going to roll. Can you hear it?
I can hear you, brother.
Yeah. I'm looking for these people. I've got a window up. Daniel McDougal says, "Hey-o." All right, so
What up,
that's
Daniel?
good. Daniel's talking to me. Daniel, can you hear Sam? Sam, say hello to the people.
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Daniel McGoogles just gave you a yes, sir. All right, guys. How you doing? Welcome to midday coffee, power people power. And I'm back at it with your man, Tim Black. And I have a special guest with me today. It's a friend of the show, a friend to all of you out there. You know this guy. Give it up for Sam Ronan, people. Give it up. That's what we do, man. Show the guys some love. You saw Sam out there on that big stage doing this thing, holding it down, representing the movement. Sam, man, how you feeling?
Dude, it's been a wild ride living this rock star life of traveling all across the country, all hours of the night, and man, speaking on CNN, like you said, I tell you what, that was a pretty fun time, and I'm looking forward to keeping that ball rolling.
That's it, man. You know, when you got to strike when the iron is hot, my brother, and you're poised for it. You're there. It's your time. You got to grind. You know what's up. So
That's right.
So, man, please, man, I'm sure everyone wants to know, like, what are your takeaways? Like first of all, you're in the DNC. You're at the debates, brother. You're at the give it up for that. Sam is at the debates, man. You know, that's a big deal, man. You know how few people get to do that. So, Sam, What was that like for you?
So, you know, the funny thing is people are like, so how did you even get involved and why? Well, you know, I went to the Columbus Forum and I went to watch all the candidates speak. And, you know, I was actually pretty impressed with all their answers to all the questions, except for the one question, which was, how are you going to bring people back into the party? And instead of answering the question, they gave those elevator answers, you know, those 2-minute predetermined whatevers. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You have the chance to be a leader, to truly and inspire people, and they wasted it. They did not go up to the audience members, hand them the microphone and say, what can I do as your DNC chair? What can we do as a party to bring you back on board, to make you involved, to do the things that we haven't been doing? And so that's why I got in, because I was angry. I was actually looking for a fight and to speak my mind to the people who caused the problems. And you know what? Long and short of it is I did. I succeeded. You know, there was a few hoops to jump through, but at the end of it, you know, I was able to directly address the members of the DNC on exactly how much they've been screwing up and how easy it would be to make amends and fix the problem. So how does it feel? Feels pretty good. I'm not going to lie. There's a little bit of, you know, patting on the back, you know, collar popping that I got to do while I was out there. And, you know, seeing the inner workings, like, sorry about that. Well, a lot of the things that people don't realize is that it's a whole different animal, right? Running for politics and seeing the leaders of the establishment, they're disenfranchised, or they're not disenfranchised, they're disconnected from the rest of us. And I'll bring it up. Resolution 33. They could have voted on February 25th to get rid of money in politics. They could have done that, and they didn't. Despite hearing it in the audience, the booing, and I'm not talking like boo. I mean, I'm talking pitchforks and torches booing. It was ugly booing, and they still didn't listen, man. I need your help. I need all y'all's help, especially you, Tim.
Wow, man. You know, that's very disheartening, my brother, to hear that the crowd was telling them, like the crowd's telling you, this is what we want, or this is not what we want. And they say, well, you know, hey, we know better than you. But how can you get people excited about you if you aren't doing what the people want you to do?
Exactly. It's so simple. It's so easy. All you have to do is listen to people and they'll follow you. Bernie Sanders is a prime example. Tulsi, Nina, Tim, and apparently me. I'm on that stage too now. All we've been doing is saying, yeah, you're right. We need to start listening to you. And you know what? You guys have great ideas. Crazy how that works, right?
Yeah, yeah. In fact, man, I've been hearing people punch back and say it's a horrible thing, Sam, that we have these Democrats or progressives. They're talking about primarying people if they don't follow through on certain,
Well, what
causes and
else they gonna do?
issues.
I know exactly. What else can we do, right? Because apparently messaging and emailing and phone calling and all this crap, petitions, protesting, they're not listening. So, okay, fine. The next step, the next logical step is we're going to kick you out of office. If you're not going to listen, then we're going to replace you.
But
It's that simple.
yeah, but isn't it something like fundamentally undemocratic about saying it's wrong for someone to
Oh, yeah.
run a candidate that suits their needs or meets their ethics or meets their their causes and ambitions? Like that should be that should be like the cornerstone of why people vote to begin with. So it's not about people voting for the issues that matter to them. They just want you to fall in line, man. Sam, it's crazy, bro.
It is crazy. And I tried to explain that to them in very succinct, simple phrases, like you need to have people involved in the decision making process. And like with caucuses, for instance, right? You have all the caucuses for veterans, African Americans, women, the Hispanic community, Native American. Like we have all these different caucuses, right? But the fundamental flaw in a caucus is that you have these various interest groups talking about their various interest and they come up with a list of things that they want to have talked about, but they submit it to the executive committee, the ones who decide. And then let's say you have 10 different caucuses and they each come up with three different things. So there's 30 bullet points, which the executive committee decides on the top five. Intrinsically, they're still being pushed aside. You need a seat at the table. You need to be having the conversation with the people who are going to be making the decisions at the end of the day. Like, it's that simple. You want equality and equity, then you need to be given the equal and equitable opportunities. It's mind-boggling, Tim. I don't know. Maybe we just need to walk into their office and start smacking people upside the head because that's apparently what's needed right now.
You need to have like an Ice Cube moment when he walked into the Jerry Heller's office and just went at it, man. I don't know, man. I hope it doesn't get to that point, but we got to do something, Sam.
Hey, do you got contact information with Ice Cube? I'm sure he'd be all over it.
I'm trying to tell you. So look, man, let's shift. So what do you think about the outcome of the DNC election process? Like I heard they changed a rule or something now, which is fuzzy to me. Please elaborate on that.
So what had happened was they wanted to use clickers, right? A digital thing, but it overloaded their system, like the Wi-Fi connection thing. And so they had to switch to a paper ballot and they had to vote on it or whatever. So that's the switched rules. But of course, there wasn't the infrastructure, there wasn't the human element ready to go to actually do the ballot counting and share that information. It was more so that we had to do a quick and dirty tally and make sure that those votes were counted. And yeah, it was a little maybe poorly executed. Maybe that should have been done in the first place just to avoid the mess. But that's the fundamental flaw with the DNC too. There's all this money and all this potential infrastructure and all this potential organization, but no leadership. There's no true organizer who truly looks at like the big picture and says, you know what, we're a national organization. Why aren't we intercommunicating? Why aren't we doing simple things that would make it more transparent and easy to manage and understand? And it's done so on purpose, though. This isn't them being purposely incompetent. This is them choosing to keep information in the inner circle and not sharing it. And I made that point, too. You go to Democrats.org today, and you still can't find a directory of who to call. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a problem.
Right.
This lack of communication.
Right. We see that with the corporations all the time. And recently, a gentleman put out a video. He called it. It's a satirical video about the DNC. He called it the New Democratic National Corporation. And in it, he's like the CEO, and he's like Lucifer, the devil. And he's like, yeah, I'm the new. And it's just like a corporation, who doesn't really want to hear from its customers.
Right.
Because like I remember like a few years ago they used to do this a lot. They'd have a website. The contact was like a big loop. Like it would put you in a. You'd end up in nowhere's land when you tried to get customer support. Now sales was great.
Oh yeah.
You could always find a sales rep, but finding customer service was always a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it is.
Ellison.
Yeah.
You gave your support to Ellison. Is that correct?
That is. And, I even said in the same 30 seconds that I support Ellison. I think he's the guy for the job. But we need to hold him accountable. And should Tom Perez win the day, I'd support him as well. But I would definitely hold his feet to the fire because we cannot take the words of our leaders for granted anymore. We have to hold people accountable. And I got a little bit of flack for that because I said both names in the same sentence. But I mean, that's what I'm doing. That's why we're here right now, Tim. I'm holding them accountable. I'm building an infrastructure. I'm building a network for we, the people. Our voice is what I'm trying to call it, so that if the DNC and if the Republican Party continues to ignore us, continues to not support people on down ballot elections, and continues to try in this elitist nonsense, I'm going to give us an infrastructure with which to stand on. And part of that is going to be, building the network, building the app, and so on and so forth. But it's also going to the states and the communities directly and saying, hey, everybody, my name's Sam. I'm trying to figure this stuff out. Maybe you've heard of people like Tim Black, Jimmy Dore, the Young Turks. They're all on board. Well, I don't know if the Young Turks is. I'm just saying Jimmy Dore's on board. You're on board. Or I hope you're on board. Sorry, I guess I keep speaking for everybody.
I'm on board.
All right, Tim's on board.
Yeah.
And, we're trying to do this tour. People have been saying I should write a book. I mean, I don't have time to write a book, but, I've definitely started an outline. So when I found a ghostwriter, we got this. The point being, Tim, I got an event going to New York City. I've got events going in Pennsylvania. I'm going to be in D.C., and I want you to be there. I want you to do a shout-out. I want you to have your 5 or 10 minutes of fame as well. This is my official invitation for you to come out there to New York City, April 20th, I believe it is.
Right. And for the record, Sam, like my audience is very sensitive to people like doing stuff like this, dropping it on me on the air. But Sam and I already talked about it and already had this conversation before, because some people come on the show, they're like, Tim, we need you to go to Jerusalem like tomorrow. And if you're a real progressive, if you're a real activist, if you're a real supporter, a humanitarian, you'll be there. And I'm like, dude, I got a job to do. So, but I just want people to know that Sam has already talked to me about this, and I'm already in. So yes, we're going to do it. I don't know how we're going to do it. It's going to work out.
Yeah, it is.
So you make the commitment, and then you'll find a way. That's human survival technique. Once you know you got to do something, you find a way to make it happen.
And you know what, Tim? That's absolutely the truth. The problem was, going back to your earlier question, what was it like to be in the DNC chair race and what am I doing now? Yeah. It comes back down to nobody else is stepping up to the plate. We got people who could, but for whatever reason, they're not. We got Bernie Sanders. We got the man who started the revolution, but he's taking a step back. I think he's waiting for a moment and an opportunity, and that's great. More power to him. We got Tulsi and Nina. Nina's, I think, getting ready to ramp up in Ohio for something big. I hope so, because I want to support her just as much as I know she'd support me if I ran for Congress. So, we got the names, we got the people, we got the idea, we got the momentum. We just don't got anybody pushing it right now. So for the time being, Tim, that's me. And all the help I can get is what I'm looking for. And, I think there's some opportunities to get this thing off the ground. We just need to have that central structure. We just got to have that something or that somebody to get behind. And for the time being, that's me.
Well, yeah. Well, I applaud you for picking up the mantle and doing what you need to do, doing what's in your right to do. I mean, in your heart to do, which which is the right thing. Just to address the people who were giving you, I guess, a little heat about saying, well, I will hold whoever accountable. At that point, what else could you do? I mean, the decision's already made. What are you going to do? Well, I'm just going to, what are you going to say at that point?
Exactly. Complacency is what got us into this mess. You know what I mean? People not voting, people not getting involved in politics, not taking their civic responsibilities seriously. Part of it's a culture thing. Part of it is an education thing, I think. And a part of it is also disenfranchisement. For so many years, we've been told our vote doesn't matter, that we started believing it. But it absolutely matters. If all of us had turned out to vote or voted for nobody, right? And that's the big joke. If everybody who stayed home showed up and voted nobody would be the president of the United States. Just saying. And that goes back to the Iliad and the Odyssey. Where, shucks, I forgot his name. But anyway, the guy, the main... Homer. Yeah. Well, anyway, the main guy, he was attacked by the Cyclops, and the Cyclops asked him what his name was, and he said his name is Nobody, so that when he fought back and killed the Cyclops, and the Cyclops was like, nobody attacked me, nobody's attacking me. That's the thing. We have power. We have strength. And
Dude.
we're choosing to sit on our laurels. So I'm trying to give us something to fight for and giving us that tool, that arguably weapon. I mean, our vote is a weapon, folks. The First Amendment is the most powerful weapon and tool that we have in the United States of America. That's why it's the First Amendment in the Bill of Rights. You know what I'm saying? So we got to start using it. And I'm going to hammer that point home. We got to start using it. We got to start getting active. And we got to start voting. Now is not the time to stand home. Tim, say it for me.
Well, you know what, man? My take on it is a little bit different, and I think I meant to say Isaac Asimov. I think that's the grandfather of science fiction. I don't know. Look, man. I want to make this point like simple for my people watching, because I did this on a long video, thinking with Tim Black, which I do like twice a week.
Okay.
My thing is this, and I am against the black community, and pretty much any community, but specifically the black community, just automatically handing the DNC or the Democrats their votes. I think
Right.
that that's a problem. Now, I'm not saying people need to stay home, but if we don't make the Democratic Party earn the most loyal voting bloc that it
Right.
has, it has no reason, no inspiration, no motivation to change itself. If they know, well, we know we're going to get 95% of these people, no matter what we do. So like that's like my main focus now. I don't
Yeah.
advocate people staying home, but what I
Right.
do advocate is putting pressure on the establishment so that we
Yes.
can actually have, because right now we don't have two parties. Like we have a party and a half. The Democrats and the Republicans, to me, are fused together in a way that's like, and I don't mean every particular Democrat. You've named some
Right,
great
right.
ones that I agree with as well. And then we have the Green Party. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's a malformed. I don't know what that is. That's not a person. I don't know how you describe that thing. That's scary. That's something out of the
Yeah.
depths of darkness. The tales of the crypt. What we need is for us to hold them accountable. So though,
Yeah.
Sam, I agree with you that this is your right. You should exercise it, but we have to know the power of it. So
Right, right.
um,
And Tim, I'm sorry, I didn't clarify that point, and I'm glad you brought it up because you're absolutely right. I am certainly not advocating simply voting blue no matter who. What I'm talking about is building this network of the people, the 99%, our voice, right? We need to put ourselves. We need a primary. The Democrats, the Republicans, Green Party. We need to be on every single ballot, every single race, every single issue, and we need to put our people in charge. It's just we need to figure out how to have that overarching theme. We need to have a team mascot, right? And I keep joking on Jimmy Dore's show, the Pink Pony Party, right? But essentially, that is what we need. We need to essentially be a third party, but that uses the Democrats and the Republicans as our platform to get on it. It's just we need to know who our people are, as in who we are sponsoring, who we are supporting, and get them the recognition they need, so that even though we might be running as Democrats or Republicans, because the fact of the matter is, and it's unfortunate, duopoly is a thing. And in Ohio, you are a Republican or a Democrat if you want a chance in hell of getting on the ballot. So it's an unfortunate truth, but you're right. We got to put the right Democrats in office. We got to put the right Republicans in office, because in the southern states and some of the Republican strongholds, you have to run as a Republican. So we got to be those dark horse candidates. We got to be the Trojan horse candidates that overtakes the oligarchy. That's what I meant, and I apologize if that didn't come off.
No. I just saw an opportunity to make that plain for people, because they need to get that and understand it. And that does not mean that you support Trump. Like because you want more from someone or more from a party in this case, does not mean you support anyone else. It just means that's what it means. It means you want more.
You want more.
And more than what we demand more. We're not going to settle for less.
And we deserve more.
And we deserve
We should be
more.
getting more.
That's it, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up. So the progressive path is what?
So the progressive path is we need to coalesce. We got the Bernie Kretz of California who are working on like an activist program. We got the draft Bernie Sanders who's trying to create a platform for everybody to stand on. The Justice Democrats are doing a vetting process for candidates. You got Our Revolution, who I think is coming up with the different the rules and how to get on a ballot. And then you got several other organizations that are doing a mix of the stuff, all of the above, fundraising, what have you. The thing is, There are thousands of progressive movements right now, thousands of progressive organizations, and I literally mean thousands. There were at least 300 in LA, and I just went to LA and they told me that there's 300. I'm like, are you? No. You know how many people are doing the same work over and over again when we should be sharing it? The progressive movement has to put ego aside, has to put their particular brand aside, and they need to just start sharing information. And we can call it the whatever. It doesn't matter. Our voice is going to be the name of my app, but the movement itself, it could be called the Pink Pony Movement for all I care. Seriously, let's call it the Pink Pony Movement. At least that is something so ridiculous and just off the wall. It's going to share and get traction just because. Hashtag Pink Pony Party. I mean, come on, right? But that's the thing. It's something that's overarching an umbrella. We can share our information. That's what we need. We have the different tools. You know, we'll have the app that everybody can pick up on and be like, oh look, this is the information, right? You pull it up and it's on your cell phone. It's like, oh look, this is California, this is the LA County, this is how to run for mayor. Done. While Justice Dems is using their vetting process so we can get right people, or draft Bernie Sanders so we can get the information out. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who has the name, because at the end of the day, we win. So I'm trying to be the voice of reason, the arbiter of collaboration, and the toolbox, right? All I'm building is the container, and I want to put everybody else's information into this container and give it to you, literally. That's what we need to do. That's the future of the movement.
That is. Look, guys, give it up for that. Makes perfect sense to me. He's right. A lot of people are recreating the wheel. And he's right about the egos, too. We got a lot of people who are just, and I understand that to a certain degree. Like, if you've been working on something for a long period of time, it's hard to let your baby go, right?
Exactly.
You have ownership. It's something. There are people who have lost jobs, lost homes, who've lost relationships behind this movement. And they have put their blood, sweat, tears, dreams, aspirations, everything into what they're doing. And now Sam's walking up, and Sam's saying, hey, man, you got to let your baby go, man, because it's for the greater good. You don't need to let it go, but you need to let go of ownership. You need to open up. We need to combine, consolidate. Right. So I understand there's pain with that. There's a sense of loss, territorial people claiming, their spot. But at the end, what good is having it if it's unsuccessful?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the way I've been trying to explain it. It's like you have, let's say Justice Dems, for instance, because that's one of the ones that are growing really quickly. Mm-hmm. They have all this money, or they're fundraising, and they got their platform and they have their vetting process. But it doesn't do you any good to have a vetted candidate if they still don't have the tools and resources to get elected. It also doesn't help if they don't have a list of volunteers to utilize to help them get elected. Because at the end of the day, and I can speak to this, being the guy to make all the phone calls, do all the fundraising, knocking on all the doors, I could go on and on, right? If it's just one person doing it, you're gonna get burnt out, brother. So we need Justice Dems. We need Justice Dems, but we also need New 535. We also need the Bernie Kratz of California. We also need the Progressive Movement. We also need PIP and all these other organizations. We need everybody, but we need them to work together. And whatever that looks like is irrelevant to me. I don't care. I'm not doing this for my sake, to be perfectly honest. I'm doing this because when I run for Congress or Senate or governor or president, I want to use this damn tool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to use it. And I want to give it to you, Tim. I want you to be like, hey, guys, look at this app. This is how you get involved. And you know what? You can give a shout out to the Justice Dems and the Bernie Kratz of California and PIP and all these other folks for making it happen. That's the thing. We need to have a name. Fine. We need a central location. Sure. But we need to also give credit where credit is due. Like, I'm not saying give me your idea so I can profit from it. Like, no, give me your ideas so I can apply them to the other ideas and the other ideas so that we can start working together,
Absolutely. I agree with that 1,000%. If that's not even possible, but
no, it's possible. Go further.
So we have a blueprint. We know what we need to do. We see a pathway. We see that working together is going to make more sense. And for the record, guys, just so all my viewers know, guys, that's like one of the things we're going to do here on this channel is we're going to start having roundtables with progressive folks. I want Debbie Lusignan, the same progressive. I want my friend Mike Figueredo. Now, these people have been on the channel before, but I want them to come
Mike's
back.
Been on here?
Yeah, I've been on his channel. I hosted one of his shows before. Ben Dixon's been on my show. I mean, if I named all the people from Lee Camp to Jordan Sheridan who've been on this show, it'd be crazy. Like
Can I
Claudia
give a quick shout out to Mike because I've been trying to get a hold of him, but I've been too busy, and I want to apologize to him.
Oh man,
Mike, I am so sorry I haven't gotten a hold of you yet, brother. Reach out to me. You have my number, you have my Skype, you have my everything. All right. We do need to get in contact, and we do need to get on another show. I got mad love for you, man. Seriously, thank you for everything you've been doing during the DNC chair race. Thank
that's
you,
right,
Tim.
man.
Sorry.
No doubt, no doubt. And big shout out to Mike, man. Mike's doing great work. He's one of the nicest people I've ever met, and he's a terrific guy, man. So give it up for Mike Figueredo. He didn't get enough love, frankly. He doesn't get enough love, and I mean that. He's been fighting the fight for a long time, and he just quietly just does his thing. So, yeah, Sam, like I'm feeling excited. I'm pumped up.
I know, right?
I
just can't wait to get this thing on. Because here's the thing, Tim. Once this thing gets traction, and I'm not saying my app or the whatever, I'm saying once the movement actually starts coalescing, dude, it's gonna be truly revolutionary because people will finally start working together and finally have their voices heard, and they will start taking action. I am so excited for this. I mean, give credit where credit's due. Trump is making America great again by getting them off their asses, putting a fire under their feet. Because, like, damn, we can't let this continue on, right?
Yeah, it's a horrible thing to imagine, but without adversity, there's no growth.
Right.
Your muscles your muscles grow when you use them. You got to lift that weight. Your endurance gets stronger when you actually, exert yourself, and that's what's
right.
happening now. And I fear, well, I could tell you that H.A. Goodman and I, when we were doing our shows and we talk about the primaries, we knew that if Hillary came in, it would kind of stifle the movement. Now, I'm not saying I wanted Trump, but I just knew that would happen if she won. But Trump look at him, man. Everybody's a resistor now. Like,
Exactly.
Resistors
And now we just
everywhere.
got to start working together.
There you go.
Tim, I want you to help be my mascot, help be my megaphone on that one because I'm not big enough yet. You're the man right now.
Man. Well, look, I don't know about the term mascot. We got to reframe that. But I hear you. Megaphone I can do. That part,
right.
Yeah. I feel
Megaphone.
you on that. Give it up for Sam and the megaphone Tim Black. I can do that, bro.
You gonna eat your cornbread.
Damn, we gonna eat your cornbread. So Sam, man, tell us a little bit about New York. Tell folks what to do to reach you, to get involved with you, and also throw in New York too, because I got to hear more about it.
Yeah. So right now, we're working on building a website. We're working on building an app, and I'm also working on writing a book. Apparently, people would be interested in reading my experience so far, which is new to me. But hey, I'm a team player, so I'll do whatever's asked of me. But right now, we're gearing up for a New York trip. The major events are going to be on the 19th through the 22nd, and then there's going to be a couple other events at like St. John's University. We're going to have kind of like an Occupy Wall Street 2.0 on, I believe, the 20th, but it might be the 21st. So there's more to come. So if my dates are wrong, just give me a second on that. But we're gonna have big time speakers. We're working on getting. I mean, we already got Tim Black. We're working on getting several others, a couple economic keynote speakers. We're gonna extend invitations to all the big names. Bernie, Tulsi, Nina. If they show up, great. If not, we understand. But the whole point of my New York trip is to get the word out that this movement or this hot iron that I've started isn't going away anytime soon. That I'm building the thing. I'm following through with what I said. I want to empower the people. I want to give us a voice. Right now, I'm setting up a GoFundMe so that I can make it to New York. We've raised over $1,000 in just the first day alone. I have it pinned on my Twitter. I have it pinned on my Facebook. I kept the hashtag on the Facebook Ronan for DNC just because a couple of the interviewers that have been sharing my hashtag on Facebook, they've been sticking with that. So that's cool. We can change that later in the future.
Right.
But I'm trying to raise 10 grand because it's an expensive trip. The cost of the flight, the travel expenses, the hotels, and also this is kind of me being able to pay bills too. So it's like an all of the above thing. And it's also going to be whatever's left over is going towards the app fund. We're also going to set up a Kickstarter for a pack, and it's going to be Ronin Warriors Pack. And yeah, it's gimmicky, but it is RONIN Warriors Pack. You can look it up on the FEC. We're already there. The reason for that is When I say I'm trying to build a movement, give people a voice of the 99% and empower regular folks to run for office, I truly mean that. I want to give them the tools, the knowledge, the information on how to get on the ballot. I want to give them a volunteer list, and I also want to sponsor their campaign by paying for their materials. And maybe eventually even paying for their campaign committee. The materials is the cheap part. Materials is like maybe $10,000 to run for Congress, a few $100,000 to run for Senate or something. It's actually not as expensive as you think. It was actually $6,000 to run my campaign as a state representative, and that comprised of the majority of a county. Congressional campaigns are usually one or two counties or several counties if it's a rural thing, right. But you don't need millions of dollars for TV ads, right? You just need yard signs and handouts. But that's getting into the weeds a bit. Sorry about that. Long and short of it is, I'm going to stay active. I'm building the brand. I'm building the database that we can all use. I have a GoFundMe going to get me to New York City and these other places. And there's going to be a Kickstarter for the PAC that is going to finance races all across the country, here at home and elsewhere all across the country. So in the meantime, go to www.thejoesinitiative.org, go to the All Things Political Index, and scroll down to the, let me make sure I got the right one here. It's the All Things Political, and it's the directory, All Things Political Directory. I got my Facebook pages, and I got 3 links on how to register to vote, your state's federal election office, voter registration age requirements, and voter registration deadlines. Now, I'm sorry for the pitch being very technical, but there's a lot going on. We're building essentially a third party as a movement and utilizing the bipartisanship that exists to get on the ballot and fundraise and finance our own campaigns, spread our message by using their ticket to get on board. We're going to infiltrate, just like you said, we're going to infiltrate the parties. We're going to hold them accountable. We're going to do it from without and from within. So the sooner we can get that ball rolling and we can get everybody on board sharing their information, you don't even understand. We can take over in 2018. That isn't an aggressive or lofty goal. That is a fact. We have 2 years to organize and we can succeed. I mean that, and I believe it.
Wow. Give it up for Sam, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what, look, the inspiration, but also not just inspiration. We're talking about strategy. We have a plan in place. We know where we want to go. We have a destination that makes sense. And now what we need to do, frankly, is just to get people more motivated, people more informed, so they know about it, so that they're aware.
Information. That's what we need the most. Like, yeah, do I need help building the app and data mining the information? Yes. But what we need more is building that traction, building that voice. I only have 8,500 followers on Twitter. We need to bump that up with a couple extra zeros on the end. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that when I click and type something, half the country hears it, because that is what we need right now. We need our voice to not just be heard, but to be loud and to be obnoxiously loud. I mean, we need to be shouting from the highest hilltop and the lowest valley that we are here and we are not going anywhere, and we're angry and we're taking action the right way. We're not just protesting in the streets. We're getting organized. We are fundraising ourselves, and we're going to be on the ballot. So be wary and be aware.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, look, Sam, this has been a phenomenal interview, man. It was great talking to you once again. We'll talk offline about how logistically we'll work out the rest of it. Like I said, I'm sure we'll work it out, man. Look, man, keep your head up. Get some sleep, brother.
Yeah.
Look, you guys don't know. Sam told me he's running off 3 hours sleep. He sound like me. That's not good, man. You need to get more sleep.
Yes, sir. I am on it.
We don't want you falling out, man. You got to stay healthy. Look, guys, give it up for Sam Ronan, and go to you gave the email, the website address. Yep. What's that website address again, Sam?
All right, guys, you can find me at thejoesinitiative.org. I got a sign-up sheet. I got a contact us sheet. I have all of our Facebook groups on that page that I said, the All Things Political Directory. You can find me on Facebook, /Ronan for DNC. Find me on Twitter at /Ronan4Progress. And I have a YouTube channel as well, Samuel Ronan. It has, I think, 600-something subscribers. You can find me and contact me on any of those things. I look forward to hearing from you and working with you guys. This is our time, and our voice needs to be heard.
There it is, guys. That's it, man. This is Tim Black with my man Sam Ronan. You just watched or witnessed People power, power people, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. Make sure you follow over Sam Ronan. Find him everywhere. He's on YouTube. He's on email. He's on Twitter. It's for Sam for DNC. Sam for DNC. And look, guys, contact me about further guests to bring on this show. I like doing this. I like the daytime. I don't want to, I'm not a vampire, man. I can do stuff during the day. All right, so contact me about that. And until we meet again, until we talk again, stay strong, staying tall, and don't let nobody eat your cornbread, baby. Come on, man. Thank you, Sam.
Tim Black.
All right, Sam.
Tim Black.
That's good stuff, man.
Tim Black.
You know it, man.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I'll send you Adrian's contact info. She'll be the one to help coordinate that, but
Funny.
yeah, we just
Tim Black.
built the
I am TimBlack.com.
that's what